Hey guys, how's it going? Things have been pretty hectic lately over the past few days, and to be quite honest with you, it's just going to get more hectic. So rather than say that I haven't got time to film a vlog, I just need to find ways of fitting it in. So coffee break, and decided to pick up the camera and do a quick bit of filming. I think first things first, should update you with where I'm at and what's going on right at the moment. So come on in. So as I said, the last few days have been pretty crazy. Last Wednesday I came into work at 9 o'clock and I got home again, got finished from that particular shift. I was back for 8 o'clock for Friday morning. So it was a big, long. There's like a couple of 40 winks here and there, but it was just here the whole time, and it's been quite resource heavy on getting sorted for this exit road. But essentially I want to get all of the infrastructure, as in roads wise, done, so that my next goal and the thing that's happening next is to bring the Bomag rollers in. Now they're going to make the whole surfacing thing so much easier, literally. Actually, I'm quite looking forward to that day, because it is a case of literally stick the MP3 player in and ride around on the roller, and it's just going to make everything so much more smooth and comfortable. So let's go over to the car park, because that's what I'm on with today. When you're coming towards the end of a project like this, obviously you do all the budgeting first, and then it always takes longer than you'd hope for, which you kind of have to allow for at the beginning. It's not setting up to fail, it's just allowing yourself an extra bit of cushion. But as I'm sure you can imagine, when we get to this point where we're close to opening, that budget has just gone down and down and down and down. Therefore, a little bit of financial planning has to be brought into place. And for example, bringing in the Bomag roller, I don't own one, therefore I've got to hire one. Unfortunately, they're not cheap, so it doesn't make any sense to bring it in, do a bit, and then do a bit more groundwork and then bring it in a second time. So the idea for the car park area is to get the roads all sorted, the down roads, sorry, the in roads sorted now, but get the down roads sorted and get the car park sorted, so I can just bring the Bomag in just for one go, in one hit, so to speak. So car parking wise, we've started to dig out. There's a bigger area here for, obviously I'm not completely sure what sort of size vehicles that we're going to have. Usual's probably going to be about standard for standard car parking size. Obviously that one's more size of a van. But what happens is, cleared out a bit of space in between these trees. This is we're pointing against the flow of traffic. Traffic will be coming towards us and heading out and down the corner that way. So I mean, as I'm sure you'll see when you get up here, as far as car parking spaces go, the room that we've got to put car park in here is immense. But so far, the easy thing to do is just to bring a space in between each rows of trees, just directly off the road, for people to either reverse into, you can go nose into if you want. And that's the easiest way to do it, just straight off the bat. And when I say easiest, fastest way to do it and to get things moving. So essentially you start off with with nothing, and then these lower branches need shaving off, and then a bit of flattening out. Doesn't have to be perfectly flat, but a little bit of flattening out just to give the roller something to work on. So essentially this is what the car park's looking like. These have been, all the branches and everything have just moved to the back, and we're creating spaces in between the trees here. I've for obvious reasons, I've put my car into each and every one of these spaces, just to make sure that number one, if you've got passengers in with you, that everybody can open all of the doors all at once, and secondly, they need to be deep enough for people that aren't on bike racks, that have got things in the boot, and thirdly, rather than building a single car park space for, as you would see in any sort of supermarket, taking that measurement, these are all taken for being able to work around the edge of the car. I mean, this is pretty deep. This is long wheelbase tranny van deep, but it's better to go slightly bigger and have those options available. I'm thinking more along the lines of what I want to turn up to, and if I was still running the truck, which isn't particularly some of you might already know that the steering lock is rubbish, and it's not particularly manoeuvrable, and it's big and unwieldy, and it's quite wide. And I suppose the reasoning behind the sort of sizes of the car park, I mean, this is one of the smaller ones, but you're still looking at getting a long wheelbase tranny van in it. So the point being, just want to make things a little bit more comfortable for you all when you get up here, and it's a bit easier. But we go all the way down this road, and on each side of the way that you can see how the trees are planted in rows, and it's just the way that this side of the forest is done. All over, once you get out the other side, it's all just natural, and that's obvious, and it's steep, and that's where the tracks are. So this is currently what I'm doing, just working my way down. For example, this is probably a good example. You get to here and you start to take off all these branches up to the sort of a height of bikes on top of a bike rack on a car, and then they've all got to be moved to the back, and then rake out and clean up the bottom surface that you would be driving on. And then I can bring well, I'm just going to say fingers crossed, I don't want to say that at all, that's stupid, but we're going to have a wet day in the near future. So obviously that's the day when you want to be using the Bomag, and you're not having to hire a water bowser as well. So next wet day, next forecast for wet days, we bring the Bomag in and get everything levelled off and make it all smooth and comfy. Oh, there is some other stuff going on as well that has... Right, okay, let's get you down there and we'll update you with that. So as far as the trailhead goes, we've my dad's given me a hand out and helped me up with putting the counter in, which is awesome. The counter is at sort of bar height because we are going to have sign-on sheets. Frankly, nobody wants to have to be bending down over a table to sign in. So this, at the same time as everything else going on, we've got this project happening too. There's things for putting the tills in, all that, EPOS as well. There's all those sort of issues to sort out for the retail side of things, and making sure that we've got all the T's crossed and I's dotted on that side of things. So this is also taking up some of my time. However, the good news is I can come in here and work in here in the evenings, so that kind of leaves daylight time for doing the outside jobs. Oh, what's next? On to breaking news, so to speak. This is something that I've literally just been talking to those concerned about this morning. I'm now standing just this over here. This is the area for where Beggars Canyon's coming down. This is pretty much, as soon as I get finished with car parking and stuff like that, this is the next thing to be working on for outside tasks. And so I'm now stood on getting towards the bottom of what's got a project stroke code name GDH1, so GNAR Downhill 1. Now some of you may know that we're situated on the same sandstone ridgeline, and there's one that runs right up the Eden Valley, and it's the same sandstone ridgeline as a place called Scratchmere. Some of you might have heard of that, maybe not. It's not an official riding place. Anyway, it used to be. It used to have a northern downhill there, and some years ago. However, this morning I've been speaking to the guys that are responsible for the build there that was used in the downhill races. They grew up in Cumbria and then have kind of scattered off for uni and such. But shortly they're having a 6-week break from uni over the Christmas period. So as one comes up from Cambridge and just before another one disappears off to Edinburgh, they're going to come and put in, fingers crossed, as I say, it's all very early stages, just been talking to them, going to put into this area here GDH1. So this is going to be, it should be a fun project. I've ridden tons of stuff that they've built, and it's always a good laugh, and they're keen to get the shovels out again and go again, and Frankly, if they do it here, it's somewhere they know that where it's going to be here for the next 20 years. It's completely all legal and above board, and it would just be nice for them to have a track that they can say we did that, and it's not going to get shut down, or there's not going to have any hassles about the use of the land. So that's something that's coming into this area here. I mean, it's the good news about this, and one of the reasons where it's going to, I'm confident it's going to go in fairly quick, is because you may have seen in previous vlogs that over this end, where Beggars Canyon's going, I've got the more felling to do in there, because frankly it's a bit where the wind's blowing it. But if I say me climbing up, I kind of hold you up. But up here you can see that the tree spacing's a lot more open, and it's just going to mean that we're not going to need to worry about doing the felling, and just put the track straight in. So that's something that should come together quite quickly. Okay, right, on to the big question. When are we opening? So I'll just move over here and we'll talk about that. Where are we now? It's just entering the low teens of October. The jobs that we have to do, some of which I've highlighted, is sort out the car park, which I'll finish off this afternoon. Get the roller in. Before I get the roller in, get the down ramp in. All that sorted. Then we're going to bring the trail crew in and then open. Now, the original idea was to bring the trail crew in for a weekend, and then maybe have 3 weeks afterwards, and then open on the following weekend. That's out the window now. We're going trail crew, then opening, straight after each other. There's some stuff that needs to be organised as far as the cabin goes. Like I say, we've got to get organised for the actual taking payments and that side of things, and I'm working with the bank to get that one sorted out. I'll keep you updated as to when the roller's in, which should be next week, fingers crossed, providing it's available for us. And then as I say, once we're all rollered and we've got car parking spaces, I announced the trail crew weekend. Bearing in mind, I'm not going to give any firm dates here, but bearing in mind that we're looking at doing it this month. So we'll bring you guys in. Where am I now? I'm sat on Elementary, so right directly behind where you're viewing from. There's Elementary's kind of roughed out, so that's the first thing to sort out for the trail crew. Next is just across from us. Not get to the choppers that way. Just across from us is Magic Bus, and then there's another whole track to go at that hasn't been touched. That will be completely it'll be just built completely by the trail crew. In fact, let's get over there and have a look at it. Just on my way over, I don't know if you can see, but the red tape's over here. Maybe you can see in the distance. The red tape over there is get to the chopper. I'm stood at the top section of Elementary. After this little double here, there's a double up behind us. Runs into this catch berm and down over to this double here, and then starts to snake its way down. Basically twists like a snake. That's the easiest way of describing it. So all that is to go out for the trail crew, and then we'll cut through. You might as well leave this running while you walk over with me. So we move over just through this section through here, which will be felled. Oh no, it's this part here. Will be felled to use as a push-up track. And then we come into one of the catch corners for Magic Bus. Some nice routes there for people to get used to that tend to, you know, if you ride on surface trails, Magic Bus is full of all these kind of routes. So you're coming down through here, through Magic Bus, enter into this corner and away and down, and then just before it starts to get a little bit steeper. So this this track here, Magic Bush, is going to be considered the track number 1. I've had a bit of a rethink, and we're going to call this number 1 as the easiest track here. It's essentially, I mean, I'll be honest, I really dislike the coloured grading system. I'm not a fan of it, but to give some sort of comparison, as we get down, it's hard to give a comparison because, you know, one's surface, one's not. But as we get down into the more techie stuff, you would call this a red route that isn't surfaced. So this is our starting point. There's no features. There's stuff that you can link in and mess about with to hook and jump. And there is a couple of sneaky, cheeky double lines on there. I should actually do a video of Magic Bush. Anyway, that's something to think about for the future. But it's relatively easy, but it's a good laugh, and it's a good introduction to the place. Now, what was going to be the easiest line is next door to Magic Bush. But what I'm thinking is, I haven't touched this one. I've marked it out, but I haven't come back in and touched it. What I would like to do is make Magic Bush the easiest line. Let's cut through again. But then on the trail crew weekend, because a lot of the work's done on elementary and it's a case of buffing and shaping, for an actual build, you can see where I've pegged some areas out here, and this has been roughed out and then not really touched, but it comes out from the top here down. It's nice and wide, as you can see. It's not steep at all at the top, but it does get to a point where it gets steeper further down. It comes down into here. The original ideas were, I might as well share those with you, this is an old forestry road that runs across that. I might actually reinstate, but for now it's just as it is. But the idea is to put a bit of a jump in over the kind of road gap. See, we've got this area here that's open, and then it shoots you into the trees for a real short period before opening back out. Let's just walk you down as we get through, which will, depending on whichever line we want to take, there's multiple ways of going through here, but we'll just clear these lower branches as usual and find the line through. But this was going to be the easiest, and I was going to purposefully make it so that it was definitely the easiest one here. However, what I'm thinking is, I'd like to, because it's the closest to the car park, sorry, I'm just kind of making my way through here. Because it's the closest to the car park, I'd like to make this one a warm-up track. So, rather than making it super easy and having no features on it at all, I think it'd be quite interesting to put an option in so that anything that the trail crew build on here has, we stipulate that it's got a route around, or there's an alternative route, but put some features in it and make it a warm-up track. It's the one that's closest to the car park. It's the one that's within easiest pushing distance. Oh, well, I say pushing distance. That's not quite true on this one. It's a straight up ride out of the car park. But as we get to here, this is where it opens out again. So I did mark another stake in the ground. I'll mark it off a lot clearer and a lot better for when we do the dig weekend. So it comes out of here, whichever way wants to be chosen down through the woods, and then it moves down through these two trees, and then I'll have to get the bushwhacker out and whack all this bracken. But it heads down and goes over a dip and then bends around again. So there is an opportunity for a step or a kicker or whatever. But I think we'll make it so that the whole route can be ridden around if you don't want to hit any of the features, or the features aren't the biggest ones in the park, but they're enough to kind of get you warmed up. And hopefully that'll be something for the trail crew to kind of get your teeth into and have a dig at. It'd be a bit of a shame to bring you guys in and only work on features on elementary. We might as well put this one in as a separate track, just listed as a warm-up track, and then obviously we can get pick from the Wall of Fame to name it. So that's the plan. Now with the dig weekend being the weekend just before opening, the idea is to dig all day Saturday, and we'll buff up on Sunday morning, and then on Sunday afternoon break the bikes out and ride this stuff in. Then that allows me, at the end we'll all get together and have a meeting. I'll get the pen and paper out and we'll have some feedback, and that buys me 5 days time to make any adjustments or changes before the opening weekend. So that's the plan on how we're going to do it. As I say, we're looking at fixing up this area, getting the roller in, sorting out some stuff for the cabin, and then pretty much getting dig weekend underway. So we are but 2 or 3 weeks away tops, I think. At the moment that's how it's looking. To touch wood that there's no more kind of nasty surprises around the corner. Cool, okay, well I don't know whether this is classed as a vlog or an update or what, but I appreciate that last week was just completely mental, so I wasn't really able to do anything, and there's a lot of night shifts going on, you can't film at night, and I just wanted to get something filmed for you today. So that's my lunchtime over with, and it's time to go and sort out and get these fixed up because they ain't going to do themselves. Thanks very much for your time, and I hope to see you soon, real soon. Aha, you thought the video had ended. Just as an aside, I know at lunchtime I filmed a bit over there and kind of did the end of the video, but just been thinking, one of the questions that came up is, oh, will I need a 4x4 to come to GNAR? No, we're not some sort of Girl Guides trip out to the foot of the garden type thing, you know. Yeah, it is, it's up in the woods, and therefore you've got to get the car up there, and we ain't tarmacking any roads here. It's not a Forestry Commission car park or anything like that. So yeah, whereas you don't want to get much lower than my car. My car gets up here no problems, being 2-wheel drive. But yeah, if you own, like, and Richard, I'm talking to you, if you own a sports car or that's drastically low, anyone who knows me will know that I'm a fan of 1970s American muscle cars, so Dodge Challengers, Chargers. So I don't really have any desire to start a collection of front splitters off lowered European cars. So just maybe think twice if you've gone to the trouble of putting coilovers on and you've dropped it right down and it's slammed, then I think you might have a difficult time getting up. Standard, well, mine's actually relatively low, but standard car, fine. Drastically lowered, I don't know, I might have to try it out. Might have to go to some of the most tricky points once we've got it all rolled in and go and see how much room that we've got. Maybe it is doable. I might be underselling myself there. But anyway, as far as, do you need a 4x4? No. Normal car. It's just that we're not a tarmac road. We might be at some point. I hadn't really thought about that. We might get to a point where we tarmac it. But for now, it's a rolled in road. Normal cars will do. Super lowered sports cars, I'll have to give you a shout on that one. Anyway, thanks very much, and we'll see you later.